If this is a new concept to you, a Giving Day is a 24-hour fundraising event designed to rally donors, volunteers, and/or communities around a common theme or cause. Giving Days are typically conducted online and leverage the power of digital fundraising tactics such as peer-to-peer campaigning and social media engagement. While many Giving Days are geographically centered, such as Illinois' I'll Give for Giving Tuesday campaign or Minnesota's Give MN, they can also unite organizations around themes or focus on a singular organization or program, like the Peoria-based Phoenix Development Center's Give Me Shelter campaign. It's no surprise that Giving Days have become so popular. It's a great way to help promote a spirit of giving while raising much needed funds and awareness for participating organizations. And each year, hundreds of Giving Days are organized in the US, the largest and most famous, of course, being Giving Tuesday. Celebrated every year on the Tuesday following Thanksgiving, Giving Tuesday kicks off the biggest giving season of the year with a global day of giving. It was established in 2012 to combat the growing commercialism surrounding Black Friday, Small Business Saturday, and Cyber Monday, and has since raised nearly $2 billion worldwide. In the US alone, $511 million were raised online during the 24 hours of Giving Tuesday in 2019. That's up 28% from the previous year. And 2.3 million of those dollars were raised right here in Illinois as part of Forefront's I'll Give for Giving Tuesday campaign. This year, Giving Tuesday falls on December 1st, which is conveniently 3 months to the day from today. It's no surprise, again, that this strategy is becoming standard in digital fundraising. These concentrated fundraising events can go a long way towards exciting and uniting your community around your cause. And whether you choose to participate in Giving Tuesday or decide to create a campaign of your own, there are several reasons to give it a try. First, Giving Days are a great way to engage current supporters in meaningful new ways and without asking for money. By inviting donors and volunteers to share their own stories and fundraise and advocate on your behalf, you can deepen your relationship with them, reconnect, and reignite their passion and commitment to your organization. By turning your supporters into your biggest champions and tapping into the power of their networks and social media, you also have the ability to amplify your message and reach new potential donors. And this way, these campaigns not only help to enhance your organization's visibility, increase social media engagement and networking opportunities, but they also lead to more giving over time. And again, it's a great way to meet new people. In 2019, 25% of all I'll Give donations were made by first-time donors. What a great opportunity to expand your network and start taking those first steps towards donor stewardship. Giving Tuesday is especially a great opportunity to capitalize on the energy and branding and goodwill of a global day of giving. By using the hashtag Giving Tuesday and taking advantage of some of the larger marketing campaigns, you can drive donors who wouldn't otherwise be able to find your organization to your website and hopefully turn those curious philanthropists into first-time donors. And of course, it's a great way to raise additional funds for your organization. Consistently, organizations that participate in Giving Day see more year-end and overall fundraising success than those who don't. And like I said, this should be just one part of an overall digital giving campaign. So you don't have to think about a Giving Day as being your entire annual campaign, right? This is a chance to find some supplemental dollars, maybe kickstart a new program, or get a new printer. It's also a great way to meet some internal organizational goals. Maybe you want to engage more donors or increase your recurring donations. Giving Tuesday and giving days in general are a really great way to start learning these skills and testing your audience. And finally, it's a fun way to engage your supporters and unite your community. If you've already committed to participating in a giving day but aren't quite sure where to begin, here are 5 essential steps that you can take to help get you started. First, create campaign goals. Be specific. Explain why you're hosting the campaign and what you aim to achieve. Establish your goals early and always keep them in mind. Make sure that you identify at least 1 or 2 things that you hope to accomplish. Again, whether it's more total donations, dollars, or acquiring new donors. Be ready to tell people about it and incorporate it into all of your giving day messaging. Second, assess your resources and be honest. Make sure you outline all the resources you'll need to support and launch your campaign, as well as what you can put in place beforehand. So take stock. What kind of time do you have? For teams of 1 to 2 people, 3 or more months is the recommended amount of time to plan ahead. But this varies depending on the size of your organization, what your fundraising goal is, and you never know, sometimes if you work really well under pressure, that shortened preparation timeline can really fuel your fire. In general, we like to suggest that organizations dedicate at least 1 to 2 hours a week over about a 3-month period. So think about the time that you have, and could you commit at least 1 hour a week to thinking about your campaign and getting ready to promote it and raise dollars and engage with your supporters. Second, think about your team, your human resources. For a successful campaign, you need a team of enthusiastic and reliable supporters. This does not mean that you have to be a nonprofit with a large staff. Think about ways that you can engage your volunteers. Maybe you have volunteers who've really been looking for new ways to get engaged and get involved. Maybe there are volunteers you've been hoping to bring in closer and really activate. This is an opportunity to explore what kind of skills and interests your supporters have and how you can start to leverage them towards your impact and your mission. And of course, boards are always a great place to go when you need support. If you have disengaged board members or really excited board members, talk to them about how they can contribute. See what excites them and help them define accessible goals for themselves. And also don't forget to leverage your forefront or association memberships. This is a form of human resources, I think, that we often forget. So if you are a member of Forefront, we are here to support you. So don't forget to take advantage of those resources as well. And lastly, check your technology. Do you have the ability to accept donations online? Hopefully everybody at least has the standard donate button right now. But think about how you want to engage with your donors on your giving day. This is a great way to drive traffic to your website. So do you have the ability to customize your web page? Do you have the ability to access your website on the back end and modify your online giving experience a little bit? Think about what you currently have and what you hope to accomplish, and then start to think about what you're going to need to succeed on your giving day. Next, you want to clarify your message. This is your chance to tell your story. Explain your need or why you're raising money. Describe the impact of your mission. Think of this as your fundraising appeal. This is your campaign. Be sure to clearly communicate what you're trying to accomplish this Giving Tuesday or on your giving day, and explain why it matters. For example, in 24 hours, we're raising $50,000 to provide 50 women the opportunity to go to school. Now, maybe your goal won't be $50,000, and maybe your primary goal isn't to raise money, but you want to make sure that your message is clear. Make sure you tell donors how they can make a difference. What impact will it have on your community? Inspire them. Think about let them know how they can make a difference and highlight the joy of giving. Think about what problems will it solve? What impact will your campaign have on your mission or sustainability in the long run? And of course, always think back to your goals and consider how your messaging relates to what you're trying to accomplish. Make sure that you design your messaging around encouraging your supporters to help you reach your campaign goals. I see the chat box flashing up in my corner. I do just want to pause for a moment in case somebody had a question. Oh, okay. I see Susie's got it. Thank you, Susie. Ooh. All right, moving on, maybe. Haha. Once you've defined your goals, assessed your resources, and clarified your message, it's time to lay out your marketing and communication strategy. Develop a plan to build excitement around your campaign. It should be designed around your goals and branded so that all elements of your outreach reinforce each other. If you're participating in Giving Tuesday or another community or statewide organized Giving Day, this is a great opportunity to take advantage of all those ready to go resources that are available to you. Don't forget about those resources. As you're defining your plan, think about your audience. Who are your current donors and supporters? What kind of audience do you want to engage with? What kind of platforms are you currently using? What platforms have been most successful in the past for engaging donors or prospective donors? Think about what works and what might work better, and then decide which ones you're going to use. And be sure to think about the full spectrum. The best online campaigns make use of a multi-channel approach. So make sure that you use multiple platforms to spread the word about your campaign. And you'll see here that doesn't just include online. Don't count out direct mail or word of mouth. You know your audience and you know your longtime supporters. So meet them where they're at. If you're trying to reach a new, younger audience, maybe consider Facebook or Twitter. But if you know that your audience likes that personal touch or that direct mailing campaign, consider relying on what you know and engaging your donors in ways that they're familiar with. And be sure too to think about how each platform is going to change your messaging. What kind of content are you going to need if you have an email and an email campaign and a Facebook campaign? Do you need email copy, flyers, maybe talking points for ambassadors? Again, remember your audience, remember your goals, and choose the best channel to accomplish those goals. Lastly, create a communications timeline. Once you have a sense of how you hope to communicate your plan, be sure to think about when you want to communicate those things. In the past, top I'll Give performers started promoting their events and spreading the word 3 to 4 weeks before their campaign, and appealed to fundraisers or ambassadors at least 6 to 8 weeks prior. So be thinking about those things. And I'll note there are some resources online to help you do that. But we do have a a workshop coming up in October that is going to show you exactly what a communication timeline can look like and help you develop one that's going to work for you. I'll talk about that a little bit more later. And then, of course, assign clear responsibilities. So create your communications timeline, figure out what content you need, and then make sure you know who is responsible for what. Lastly, stick to it. What the fundraising process looks like will very much depend on your nonprofit, the size of it, the resources at your disposal, and the priority you give your campaign. No matter what, the surest way to success is to plan your work and work your plan. Keep an eye on your goals, hold yourself and others accountable to the work that they've agreed to do, and follow through. Before we move on to some of the more specific strategies that you can use on your giving day, I do want to pause for just a second and see if there are any questions. I know that was a lot of information. So if there are any, if you have any thoughts or comments that you'd like to share, I'll take just a moment for that.
And this is Susie again. I'll jump in as well while folks might be thinking about questions they have for the broad strokes. I highlight, if you haven't been in the chat, I included a link to our digital giving email series that complements the series of webinars. So you can join online to get a series of 5 emails that dig in more as well for digital giving strategies. It looks like we did have a question come in. So Lily, should you decide between participating in either Giving Tuesday or an annual appeal, or do both?
I say do both, but it really depends on what your annual appeal usually looks like, and again, what you're hoping to accomplish. I know that according to some of the Giving Tuesday and Giving Day studies, like the Blackbaud Institute's 2019 study and Giving Tuesday's impact study, that organizations who participated in, who combined their giving day with their annual giving or their year-end giving, in a way using it to kick off their giving, saw increased donations overall. And I'm happy to send out some, maybe an article or something that would talk a little bit more about how you can think about how to organize that campaign. And Sarah and Susie, if either of you have any thoughts, please feel free to share.
Hi, good morning, everyone. This is Sarah Tapscott with Forefront. I have seen it work both ways, where nonprofits have launched their giving day, and if they fell short of their particular goal, then the end of the year campaign or appeal was meant then to offset some of the shortfalls of their giving day campaign, and vice versa. If your annual appeal has happened first, then a giving day would be set up to fill the gap of where you did not meet your annual appeal. So I think you can do them to complement each other based on your yearly fundraising plan.
Agreed. Thank you for that. Any other questions before we move on? And we'll have some time at the end too for more questions. So if you think of something, write it down or feel free to add it in the chat box, and we'll answer it as we're able. So now that we've covered the basics, we've discussed the building blocks of a successful campaign, I want to talk about some of the tools and strategies that you can use to maximize your efforts. Number one, maybe. There we go. Be specific. Let donors know exactly how they can impact your mission to boost your overall giving. Remember, this is one strategy that you can use to supplement your overall giving. So take the opportunity to think about what you really need or what you really want. Is this a chance to focus on a specific project or program? If your story is focused on a specific thing, make sure your donation levels reflect how different elements, how much different elements of that project cost. And I always think of a great example of that is Loving Bottoms Diaper Bank, who supplies diapers and period and incontinence supplies to individuals in Western and Central Illinois. They've done a really great job of itemizing the things that they need, which is supplies. And so considering what each of your items cost, if you can itemize your impact or attach tangible values to your asks, you're going to see a lot more donations coming through. And, you know, we have a tendency to want to think about getting those big donors in, big donations. But every donor relationship starts with that first time gift. And if you allow donors to consider smaller gifts of $5, $10, $25, they're more likely to participate in a Giving Day campaign, and it's a great opportunity for you then to connect and begin to steward that donor, hopefully for a lifelong giving relationship. So make sure that you have clear calls to action and that you use those personalized donation levels. Again, thinking about how much your impact costs. For example, how much does it cost to help one person, to supply one child, to feed one kid? Add unique descriptions to those amounts too, to help your donors visualize their impact. And as a bonus, you can add photos or images to show what their donation buys. These are all fun ways that you can engage your donors and create a compelling asks on your Giving Day. And of course, again, as always, remember your goals. If you're not trying to raise the most money, but you'd rather focus on donors more, again, think about how setting lower donor levels might encourage more first-time donors to give. I did want to show you what that might look like. This is from the I'll Give 2019 campaign and our partners at GiveGab. So this is just a great example of how a little bit can go a long way and how clarifying and specifying your needs can be a really fun way to tell your story. Number 2, utilize all available resources. Prepping for Giving Tuesday or your giving campaign doesn't have to be hard. There are tons of free tools and resources out there that you can use to create beautiful campaigns, easily collaborate and communicate with your team and your supporters, and make sure that you have all of your social posts and communications ready to go for the day of. Don't ignore any of it. It will save you time and money in the long run. You can download ready-made planning tools and email templates from Giving Tuesday or from the I'll Give 2019 landing page. Participate in free trainings like this one today or some of the others that we have coming up to hone your skills and learn some new things. Don't be afraid to repurpose marketing materials, copy or photos from previous campaigns and rework them so that they fit to this campaign. And don't be afraid to partner with another nonprofit. Teaming up with other members of your community is not only a great way to amplify the message and get people excited about the Giving Day, but it's a great way to share ideas and resources and help carry the load of planning a giving day. So make sure that you are taking advantage of all of these resources. Next thing is create a branded campaign page. To make the most out of your page, you want to make sure, first and foremost, that it is mobile ready or responsive. And I mentioned this at the top because mobile devices are really dominating our everyday lives, as I'm sure you are all aware. And it's really important that your website is easy to navigate no matter what device your donors are connecting with. 26% of all donations in 2019 were made from a mobile device. That is a huge number. And over 50% of all internet engagement originates from a smartphone. So if you don't have a website that currently converts well to a mobile device, such as a phone or a tablet, consider things that you can do to either make it more responsive, or this might be a good opportunity to think about engaging a Giving Day fundraising campaign to make it a little easier for you to engage with those donors who are using their cell phones. Another important thing to remember about your campaign page is that it's easy to navigate. There is a 1 second rule. Studies suggest that if a donor has to look more than 1 second to find your donate button, your chances that they'll donate decrease tenfold. So don't give them a reason not to give. Make it easy for them not only to see that they can give, but make it easy for them to give. The best thing about having a branded campaign page is, of course, that you get to tell the unique story of your campaign. So make sure that it's engaging. Use pictures and images and narratives to tell donors why this campaign is important and why they should give. Be careful, though, that you don't make it so overwhelming that you turn donors away. Remember, you have an entire website to share your story. So really think about how you can use this campaign page to drive giving to those goals and asks that you've set up already. And lastly, make sure that your donation process is integrated into your website. That just means that donors don't have to click 3 or 4 times outside of your giving page to give. You want to make it as easy as possible. You want to be able to capitalize on the energy, right, on the moment. If you have a new donor who's come to your website and you've written a compelling narrative and they're ready to give and they hit the donate button and it takes them to another landing page and they have to click another button to another landing page, with every click, the chance that that donor is going to give decreases significantly. So as best as you can, try to minimize the work that it takes to give to your organization. And a good rule of thumb is no more than 1 or 2 clicks. I know that some organizations, your websites might not have the capability to actually embed your donation processor on your site. So maybe you're redirecting people to a third-party processor like PayPal or Stripe. Just make sure that that's 1 click to that processor. Don't make them go searching for that. Don't use that donate now button as a chance to keep telling your story, right? They've already hit the button. Capitalize on the moment and give them a reason to give. Also, if you do have the ability to customize or brand that donation page, it's important. It goes a long way to building trust. If you've ever gone to a website or a store and clicked pay for or donate, and it took you to a website that looked completely different, you might have felt a little hesitant to share your credit card or payment information. This is true for donors when they're giving to your organization. So anything that you can do to make that donation page look like it belongs to you is going to put your donors at ease, and again, encourage them to give. You also want to make sure it's secure. Make sure that it's PIC compliant and that your donors know that when they share their information with you, that it is safe and secure. This is one of the largest concerns that donors have with online giving, especially those over the age of 55. So do yourself a favor and just add something on your campaign page about how you're keeping their donations, their information safe. And as a bonus, if you have the ability to set up recurring donation options through your integrated donation process, this is a great opportunity to try and get people to boost people's overall giving. We know that when people are given the option to set up recurring amounts rather than a one-time amount, that they tend to give more overall. So if you have the chance to use this option, don't pass it up. You might be leaving money on the table. All right, next, another strategy that you can use to make sure that your giving day is a success is get active on social media. If you're not already using Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram, or whatever, start experimenting now. Look for resources to help you learn how to use these tools and really leverage them to your advantage. For an online event, social media plays a huge role, and you don't want to miss out on the opportunity to engage new supporters who are primarily engaging with your campaign on things like Facebook and Twitter, or to take advantage of the huge promotional materials and energy that surrounds something like a global giving day. The hashtag Giving Tuesday is already trending now. So it has a big role to play in how donors find you, how new donors find you, and how much activity and excitement you can build around your campaign. And when you're thinking about social media, we have found in the past that some of our top performers posted an average of 10 Facebook posts or 6 tweets throughout their campaign. They use branded hashtags, again, like Giving Tuesday, to take it to leverage that national marketing material. They added or included a donate button directly on their Facebook page. Any organization can do this. And it's a really great way, again, to turn people who are just scrolling through and feel inspired by your Facebook message to send them directly back to your donation page and immediately begin the process. And again, this is how you can encourage your supporters and engage them. So make sure that they are spreading the word, even if they're not fundraising for you. Some of the best things that your supporters can do for you is simply help raise awareness. So make sure people on your mailing list, that your volunteers and your networks know about your campaign and have the tools to quickly and easily spread that word. If again, you're not as familiar with social media or as comfortable with social media, please take advantage of the several resources that are available to you, not just how-tos, but a wealth of sample posts that you can copy and paste directly onto your sites, and with a few customizations, make it your own. Graphics and images. There's a lot of resources out there to help you take advantage of this very useful tool. And don't forget that on Facebook directly, you can draft and schedule all of your day of social media posts in advance. So take advantage of that and make sure that you can easily update your supporters and build on your giving day energy and momentum. Next, activate your supporters. By inviting your biggest supporters to fundraise or advocate on your behalf, you can broaden your reach and connect with new audiences. Giving days are a natural vehicle for peer-based fundraising strategies, so it's no surprise that campaigns that utilize peer-to-peer fundraisers historically raise 3 times more than those who don't. And with these campaigns, your network of supporters shares their pages or their calls to action with their own social networks, helping you to expand your audience. And if you've effectively conveyed your core mission on your campaign page and in your communications with these supporters, you can really reach beyond your current circle. In 2019, organizations engaged an average of 4 donors per each P2P fundraiser. And that's because people are much more likely to engage online if someone they trust is advocating for your cause. Even if they're unfamiliar with your work, they can still form a personal connection thanks to the power of social proof or social clout. And this is why fundraisers should be encouraged to add their own personal touches to their posts and outreach. And campaigns that engaged peer-based fundraising also increased the average number of individual donations overall. So again, if you haven't hosted a peer-to-peer fundraising in the past, this is a great opportunity to give it a try. And is a great way to bring your current supporters closer to you and continue to move them through the donor stewardship cycle. By fundraising on your behalf, they'll feel responsible for your peer-to-peer campaign success, and they'll come to know your organization on a deeper level, strengthening their bond with your team and with your cause. So consider it. And I have a little pro tip here. If you're not sure where to begin or how to identify who those key supporters are, browse through your donor database to identify people who have demonstrated high levels of enthusiasm for your cause in the past, maybe by volunteering their time, making regular or large donations, or those who have just expressed interest in doing more. These are all indicators that a person might be interested and motivated to advocate on your behalf. Engage your community. Leverage the power of your community to bolster your resources, build new relationships, and build momentum around your campaign. This is a great opportunity to reach out to build new partnerships and really unite your community. So reach out to local businesses about sponsoring your event. Or maybe providing coupons or gifts and rewards. Maybe they'll donate a percentage of their sales to your campaign or the proceeds of a specific product. Also, don't discount TV and radio. This is a great way for you to reach, again, audiences that maybe aren't online or who you can't connect through direct communications. And most, especially in this day and age, we're all looking for some good news. So TV and radio is a great place to go to help amplify your message. And another way that you can engage local businesses is to ask them to volunteer. Maybe they don't have the means to support your campaign financially, but maybe they have a dedicated staff who's ready to put in some hours for you. So think about ways that you can engage those businesses and build those relationships and those partnerships and really rally people around your cause. If you are using a peer-to-peer strategy, and if you have engaged your supporters as ambassadors and champions of your cause, you want to make sure that they have the tools to really succeed. So make sure that they have clear and easy to use communication tools that can help them spread the word quickly and easily. You can do this by providing ready-to-use content such as hashtags, social media posts, email copy and templates, links to shareable and engaging content. or even your campaign logo and other campaign materials. Another way that you can empower and support your fundraisers is to make sure that you stay in touch. Once they agree to work with you, they are part of your team. So be sure to include them in regular communications and updates and invite them into the planning process. Encourage them to set individual goals or create their own unique content. And I've included a link here on 7 personal videos that inspire action. This is a really good way for you to ask your donors why they give, and ask them to share that story out. And video is a really quick and fun way that you can share that message with others. Lastly, you can empower your champions by considering a third-party fundraising platform. You certainly don't need one to host a peer-to-peer campaign, and fundraisers can simply use their own social media networks and word of mouth, or however they connect with their friends and family. But third-party platforms have a lot of additional tools that can really make it exciting and easy for your fundraisers to give. Platforms like GiveGab or Gively or Network for Good are all great options that have integrated P2P tools that your champions and supporters can use to really make a big splash. Don't forget, this is supposed to be fun. So some of the most successful campaigns use gamification to really motivate their fundraisers and boost their giving. You can do this by offering prizes and rewards and inspiring a little friendly competition. Last year, Forefront and I'll Give had community campaigns where nonprofits were pitted against each other in some fun time-specific competitions, like raising the most donors between a particular hour or engaging the most peer-to-peer fundraisers. And it was a really great way to incentivize your participants or your community and get people excited. Another way to do that is to add badges and leaderboards to share your progress and encourage your fundraisers. If you are using a fundraising platform, a lot of them already have these tools built in. But there are definitely ways that you can add these functions to your regular website, including a thermometer so people can check in and see what their progress is. You can give your top supporters shout outs on social media to celebrate their progress. You don't have to do much to make people feel excited and motivate them. Along the same lines, encourage fundraising teams. This is a great way to pit local businesses against one another. Maybe see if you can create a staff giving challenge and have them compete. Maybe work with your local chamber. Whatever you can do to get people excited. And of course, you can leverage matching gifts or challenges to generate more excitement. According to Philanthropy Works, a matching gift increases the likelihood that an individual will give by 22%. So this is a great way to kick off the excitement, and make people feel like they're part of something that's already on its way towards success. We know that donors prefer to contribute to campaigns they believe will succeed. Campaigns that start with over 2/3 of their goal already attracted more dollars overall than campaigns that started with 10% or less. So take advantage of maybe matching gifts that already exist. A really great idea is to reach out to one of your big annual donors and maybe ask if they will turn their annual donation into a matching gift for your giving campaign. It's all about building up that excitement and fueling that sense of urgency. Another thing you can do to really maximize your giving day is think outside the box. there is a lot happening, especially on Giving Tuesday. So get creative and make your campaign stand out. Well, for one thing, you can think beyond December 1st. We saw most of the gifts that were made in the I'll Give campaign in 2019 happened before and after the Giving Day. So really using that hype and the energy and the momentum that you're building up in support of your Giving Day. Don't pass up those opportunities to take people's money, right? When somebody's inspired to give, you want to give them every reason and opportunity to do it. So think about, even if you're highlighting one day, make sure that your campaign page is ready and ready to accept donations at least a few days before and after. Another fun way that you can think outside the box is to set a goal that doesn't end in zero. Participants in I'll Give have seen a good deal of success with this tactic. It's kind of odd, it's eye-catching, and it makes donors feel like somebody actually put the time and thought into figuring out what something actually costs. So they feel like they're in on a secret and that they can trust the ask. While you most definitely should use any community-wide or branded hashtags or marketing resources, there's no reason that you can't create a unique hashtag. I'll Give is a perfect example where our participants were regularly encouraged to include both I'll Give to increase their visibility amongst Illinois communities, as well as Giving Tuesday, because again, you don't want to miss out on the power of that global attention. Another thing that you can do is take it offline. Giving days are primarily online events, but a number of campaigns either combine offline and online strategies to engage their donors, or use it as an opportunity to host an in-person event or a celebration. We know that this year has limited our ability to gather in person, but there are still some really great opportunities that you have, again, to reach donors who maybe aren't online quite yet. And a really great example of that is a collaboration that happened in Central Illinois last year between 3 organizations who engaged local coffee shops and set up Giving Day tables so that they could help promote their campaigns. And again, meet your audience where they're at. There is no rule that says you have to be solely online. So do whatever you can to stand out and to increase your visibility. And lastly, think about the different ways to give. The different ways people can give. I mentioned before that you can engage businesses and ask them maybe to host a volunteer day. One organization last year, which was a coding school, decided instead of asking for money that they would give to nonprofits and help them create apps. So they used the day to encourage applications to their campaign, and then really decided to take that Giving Day idea and contribute rather than ask. So you don't have to use the Giving Day just to ask for money. You can raise dollars on behalf of another organization. You can partner with another organization. You can ask for people's time and try to get people, turn it into a volunteer engagement campaign. Think outside the box. Think about the ways that you want to engage your community, and then think about how you can incorporate that in your campaign. And lastly, show your appreciation. Make sure your supporters feel appreciated and celebrated before, during, and after your Giving Day. No matter the outcome of your campaign, it's imperative that you follow up with everybody involved to show your appreciation for all that they've done, to celebrate their hard work. This will not only bring you closer to your donors, but will be the first step for stewarding new donors. You don't want to miss the chance to reconnect and make your current donors feel good. And again, to follow up with those new donors and turn first-time givers into lifelong supporters. A lack of appreciation has been found to be a primary cause of poor donor retention among nonprofits in the United States. So if one of your goals is to increase donor retention, really think about your follow-up, the after giving day. Dedicate as much time as you can to those thank yous. Be creative, be authentic, be sincere, and be on time. Don't wait until a week after. Thank them immediately. Thank them the day of. Let them know what you accomplished, and then follow up with them later and tell them how their gift or their contribution is still contributing to your work. And if you're not quite sure who you should be thinking about thanking, it's everyone. So members of your staff, board, donors, partners, your fundraisers, volunteers. As you're building out your campaign and you're creating these partnerships, keep a list of those people. And again, make sure you're thanking them in real time, but really think about how you can follow up with them and continue to build and strengthen that relationship. So I've listed a few of the resources that I have mentioned throughout the workshop here. In case you want to continue to learn more about giving days or how you can utilize some of the resources already available to you to get started. When we send this PowerPoint out in our follow-up email, these will be accessible to you. You can see, learn a little bit more about online giving statistics, peer-to-peer campaigning, what Giving Tuesday's impact really looks like, and why you should participate if you're still on the fence. And then, of course, there are toolkits and webinars to make sure that you have a plan every step of the way. You can also join Forefront's new fundraising sustainability group and connect to your peers. It's a statewide email discussion group designed for fundraising professionals across the state. So if you are a fundraiser, or if you are the fundraiser in your organization, no matter what other hats you wear, this is a great opportunity for you to connect with your peers, share ideas, share resources, and talk about your giving day campaigns or your year-round fundraising. And so if you're interested in doing that, you can reach out to Key Montgomery at the email listed here and learn how to subscribe. All right, and with that, I see that it is noon now, but if I'll be here for a little while longer, if anybody has any questions or comments, and of course you can always reach out to me, Susie or Sarah, or anyone on the Forefront team with any questions that you might have in the future.
Lily, just in the couple of minutes we still have, there are some questions.
Great.
One came in asking, is a donor able to schedule a donation for Giving Tuesday in advance? For example, if they receive a letter from a direct mail campaign, can you say, log on now and schedule your donation to take place on Giving Tuesday?
I don't see why not. I think that's a great way to get people excited and again, reach those donors who maybe aren't going to be on social media, or maybe you'll miss them on the day of. It's really up to you. If you want to concentrate all of your giving on that one day, then maybe that's not the best idea. But if you're really looking to take donations as they come and on their own time, then I think that's a great way to allow donors to give when they're ready, and a really good setup if you're planning on including that in your annual individual campaign or your overall fundraising campaign.
And then we also got a question about engaging local businesses when a lot of them are folding or laying off people. And this is a great question. It's hard to know what the next 3 months are going to bring. We're in a very strange time. That's not news to anyone. But I will say I've seen both in my own neighborhood and across the country stories about folks that are doing kind of cross collaborations. So restaurants that are pairing up and having, there might be a brewery that brings in a bakery to do desserts for a special weekend. So those types of activities are actually bringing new customers to both organizations. So it's those type of creative partnerships that we're thinking about. For sure, there are some local small businesses that are not going to be good partners right now, not able to be good partners because of their own struggles. So that one is definitely a tricky option, but we think it is possibly a really good one depending on the type of work that your nonprofit does and the type of relationships that you all have. But thinking of it as a way to bring in new donors and new customers to the local business so that both of you get more recognition, that can be a really successful strategy.
And Susie, this is Sarah. Here in Springfield, we saw that over the last 2 years, especially the example that Lily gave about the coffee shops. 3 different nonprofits partnered with 3 different coffee shops, and it brought in new customers on that morning, and they were able to bring in new customers who normally don't shop at those coffee shops because they were coming there to give to those nonprofits. We've also seen nonprofits hold events the day of Giving Tuesday. There's a wine shop here that a particular organization hosts that event there every year, and so they're bringing in new customers. And then when we launched our Giving Tuesday campaign the very first year in 2014, it was called I'll Give Big, because we knew it wasn't always just about the monetary donation, but as Lily mentioned, time, talent, treasure, etc. And so, partnering again with local businesses for a volunteer day, or even asking employees at local businesses to bring in a package of diapers or a can of food, or etc. So it's not just about the local businesses giving dollars to the organization. It really is that partnership aspect.
I mean, and I agree with all of that, and I'll add that there are benefits as well. And you certainly shouldn't think about these relationships as strictly transactional, but this is an opportunity for you to promote that business and drive business if you're including their name on your marketing materials, or if you're hosting an in-person event. This is a great way to help support those businesses. You're lifting each other up. And there are also tax benefits. Because this happens at the end of the year, there might be opportunities to leverage those opportunities and encourage more businesses to participate, or give them a good reason to. They might want to. So it's really just about knowing who they are, getting a sense of what they're interested in or what they're capable of, and then being comfortable with wherever they're at and respectful of that.
Just into the response about the old ways of doing things and COVID and not being able to host events, etc. I know there's still curbside, and our coffee shops are open currently. And so clearly we're talking about this on September 1st. I'm not sure what December 1st will be bringing, but I do know that as of right now, the takeout services and virtual events, etc., are still an opportunity as we sort of navigate these uncertain times. And I think that will be important to use our listserv that we've created for you as peers to share what you're doing during this COVID period, and how you are navigating these new ways of fundraising. I really hope that some of those conversations take place during that peer-to-peer network time.
And this is Susie again. I'll build on that as well. So I think the curbside delivery and restaurant partnerships is a great option. I know a couple of Chicago nonprofits specifically that are doing partnerships with restaurant where they have a special menu for a weekend, and you can order from that menu, either delivery or pickup, and the proceeds go to the nonprofit. There's another organization I know of in a smaller town that they're just trying to sort of get folks excited and get folks feeling positive about their organization and the work that they're doing. So they have a driving tour, and their volunteers on this little route have put signs in the windows about the work that's done at that nonprofit. So there are definitely things that are still live events, but are different than the way we used to do them, for sure. I hope those are some helpful examples. And then we also have a question about receiving the PowerPoint presentation. We will be sending that out in a follow-up email to everyone that has participated and everyone that registered. And with that, I don't believe we have any more questions I'm seeing here. Lily, Sarah, any last thoughts?
No, I guess of everything that we've discussed, I would just reiterate that you don't have to reinvent the wheel. And Giving Tuesday is a really great opportunity to give giving days or peer-to-peer fundraising a try. If you're interested in learning something new, there's so many resources out there. And I really believe that if you take advantage of those, that you can, no matter how big or small your nonprofit is or what kind of time or resources you have, put together a really good campaign. So just if you're feeling overwhelmed or you're panicking at the thought of one more thing to do, just take a deep breath and know that there are simple things that you can do. You can do a smaller campaign and still have really good have a really powerful impact, either by raising brand awareness or engaging those new audiences or donors, or just trying new things, right? Getting better at social media, creating email campaigns, so on and so forth. So try to take advantage of those things and have fun.
All right. Well, thank you again, everyone, for taking the time to join us today. We hope you enjoy the webinar and will join us for more learning opportunities, as well as join that email series that we posted in the chat. You can see other webinars and programs that are coming up on our website at myforefront.org. Thank you, Lily, and thank you, Sarah, for your insights and sharing, and everyone have a great day.
Thank you, everyone.